Once you lose your momentum, it's 10 times harder to get that momentum back. 3 times in Josh Allen's career, he has an interception on his first pass of the game, and he has never played 2 straight games without a turnover. In this video, I want to show you 13 things the Buffalo Bills can improve upon. Some of it is offensive and defensive schemes, player personnel, and the most disappointing of them all, effort, fun, and energy. It's so hard to win in the NFL. It's so hard to have successful plays. And here we're going to see James Cook pick up the first down, and look at what is so disappointing here. The whistle has not blown. You have Gabe Davis at the top of the screen just talking with Stefon Diggs. James Cook is still fighting. Dawson Knox is looking back at the play. You know, the whistle clearly has not blown here, and we're not blocking. You know, we're not doing our thing here. You got to play through the whistle. And then after the play, after such a great run, where are the players coming up to Cooks and celebrating things here? Look at that. Everyone's looking away from Cooks. No one is going over to Cook and telling him, good run, nice job, great job picking up the first down. Here, we're going to have a similar thing happen to Dawson Knox. Look at this remarkable play by Dawson Knox. I mean, catches it, picks up the yard after catch, sheds 2 blocks, dives for the first down, and picks up the first down. What a fantastic play. And look at, we don't have anyone even looking at him. The only guy kind of considering it was Connor McGovern, but Trent Sherfield doesn't celebrate with Dawson Knox. You know, slap your guy up. Be an ultimate teammate. Look, Knox is like, I just made a great play, and like no one's even acknowledging it. You know, even Dawson Knox just kind of gives him a look, you know, like, oh, yeah, no good, you know. But, like, get hyped up. Have fun out there. Present some energy. And what could be the play of the game here on 3rd and 15, Latavius Murray catching the ball, shaking, and then picking up the first down here. What a remarkable play this was from Latavius Murray. And once again, the only person that comes over to him is Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox getting in his face, hyping him up. This defense doesn't have any problems with it. You can tell the sidelines kind of screaming from the sidelines. But who's that? Gabe Davis, all these other players. Go over to Latavius Murray. Slap him up. Celebrate. How hard is it to have a successful play in the NFL? Celebrate these things. Get back to having fun. A lot of people assume this was a high pass from Josh Allen, which it was slightly high. But in my mind, this boils down to effort. You know, Gabe Davis really should be trying to get 2 hands on it, and it almost looks like he gave up on this ball before he even tried catching it. It almost looks like he's trying to protect himself from the hit, you know, versus just sacrificing himself and trying to catch it. You know, Gabe Davis here, to me, I watched this several times. I mean, right there, I think Gabe Davis may have misjudged it a little bit, but it's almost like he's bracing for the potential hit. But again, if Josh Allen made a little bit better of a pass here, I think Gabe Davis would have clearly come down with it. He wouldn't have had to jump so high. He wouldn't have had to maybe feel as though, you know, he'd get hurt on the play trying to make the catch. So it could go both ways here, but when a game is on the line and we're talking about players trying to sacrifice themselves, who's the real dog on this team? Who's the real player willing to make a play? Here's the next pass from Josh Allen that was missed. Stefon Diggs wide open there, just an overthrow. We're going to get a little better of an angle on it right after this. You can clearly see Stefon Diggs doing his part, double team, being bracketed, but he breaks the bracket. He's running fast down the field, and just an overthrow by Josh Allen. We have to connect on those. So efficiency, energy, effectiveness, the execution of this play was the problem. Josh Allen overthrowing Stefon Diggs. The next pass by Josh Allen that was just a little bit off to Stefon Diggs. You know, I think Allen just needs to read it. You know, I understand being in a system, having your players be at the right spot at the right time, but as a quarterback, you sometimes have to adjust. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, once you lose that momentum, it's 10 times harder to get it back. Josh Allen throwing that interception on the first pass of the game clearly, I think, had him a little bit frazzled. And then in addition to his shoulder, you never know how badly that shoulder is impacting these throws. Here the Bills have an opportunity to score a touchdown, and what you're going to notice here is an extra offensive lineman on the field. No Dawson Knox, no Dalton Kincaid. 3 wide receivers set with James Cook, and the anticipation here is that our offensive line would hold up that defensive line long enough to allow for one of these wide receivers to get open. But what happens here is the Patriots realize an offensive lineman is not going to be going out for a pass. we brought in Dalton Kincaid because of that mixture of 11 and 12 personnel, keeping defenses guessing. And in this situation, we're literally taking away any guess of the New England Patriots. You can see at the very top of the screen the extra offensive lineman. Diggs goes in motion, but what ends up happening is they get pressure anyways. Josh Allen gets flushed, and he has to just throw the ball away. And the reason there is we don't have enough weapons, receiving weapons on that play. And of course, on the very next play, we roll out Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, and it becomes a touchdown. But before we get into the defense, here we have Ty Johnson, who is just called up in place of Damian Harris, returning kicks for the Buffalo Bills. Why don't we have Deontay Hardy back there? Another debatable situation here for the Bills. Deontay Hardy, a Pro Bowler in kick returns, punt returns. I just think, we're hardly using Deontay Hardy on offense. Why not use him on kick returns, especially when the Bills clearly needed more points and needed to make an explosive play? Bills were definitely missing Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones in this game. We had Jordan Phillips out there, Tim Settle, Kendall Vickers, and they all flashed at times, but they were inconsistent. It wasn't on a very, very play-to-play basis, and you can see here, look at the line of scrimmage and look at the Patriots. This is a running play here. We just got completely blown off the ball, in addition to the offensive linemen locking down on our linebackers. We're allowing these offensive linemen to get to our linebackers. And keep in mind, they had several backups on that offensive line yesterday. And here's a play action pass. You could see Dorian Williams at the bottom of the screen, and you could see him really, really biting on that play action pass. Gets out of position, puts his foot in the ground, and really tries to come back to the play, chasing him back down. But it was too late. He just misread the play. And that is probably one of the reasons why Sean McDermott pulled him out of the game. There's another run by the Patriots, and we're going to see kind of Dorian Williams get out of place and also Jordan Poyer miss a tackle. But I think if we kind of tighten that gap on the offensive line, if Dorian Williams was able to kind of squeeze that hole a little bit to slow him down, Jordan Poyer probably wouldn't have necessarily had to make such a great tackle. Patriots were testing the Buffalo Bills' eye discipline, and Dorian Williams, you can kind of see, got caught up with the eye candy, gets out of position, and Jordan Poyer misses the tackle, and it goes for a great run. So now Sean McDermott sits Dorian Williams at halftime, making those adjustments, but we know Dotson maybe not as good in pass coverage. Bill Belichick really did his studying this game. He understands each and every single player on our team here. And I think this was schemed up against Dotson. We're going to see a great pass by Mac Jones with Dotson in coverage. And Dotson was just inches away from making the play here. And it makes me think if Dorian Williams was out there, I know he wasn't having a great game, but pulling him out at halftime, putting in Dotson to start the half, kind of cold, didn't really have time to necessarily adjust in this game coming off that bench. And of course, the Patriots complete the pass. Von Miller only had 6 snaps this game, and an interesting choice here in the goal line where the Patriots score a touchdown. See Von Miller at the left side of the screen. Von Miller, why are we using him in run support? Knowing that he's coming off this injury, knowing that he's not 100% himself, probably a poor choice to have Von Miller out there in a goal line type situation. And sure enough, Sean McDermott did adjust throughout the game, and he started rolling out Shaq Lawson and AJ Epinesa. But we could see Von Miller, there is a blitz, but Von Miller just gets blown off the ball, and they run right at him for a score. And some other things I noticed here too were the screen passes to Stefon Diggs. And in my mind, Stefon Diggs is more of like a possession type wide receiver, right? He's not a run after catch wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver to lower his shoulder and fight for extra yards. So when we're utilizing those screen passes, it makes sense to put a Dawson Knox, a Dalton Kincaid, even a Trent Sherfield out there, guys that are very physical, willing to sacrifice themselves, willing to put their shoulder down and fight for those extra yards. So whether you look at this offensive struggles or the defensive struggles, the Buffalo Bills offense, we need to start having fun. We need to start bringing that energy. And the other problem here is Josh Allen and not running the football. I know we want to protect Josh Allen, but Josh Allen always lit a spark on this offense. If Josh Allen was sacrificing himself, if he was hurdling and stiff arming, it really riled up the troops for the Buffalo Bills. And knowing that we're not running the football, there really is no spark for this Buffalo Bills offense. And with all the injuries occurring the past couple years, even Damar Hamlin incident on the field, I just think the Bills offensively, for whatever reason, we're just lacking a little grit, or we're playing a little bit fearful, or we're afraid to get hurt. And I really believe the Buffalo Bills are just missing that energy. The problem here, really, there are some schematic issues here, but again, we have to win our matchups. Deion Dawkins got beat this game too. Some of the best players on this team just did not play well. Taking care of the football is priority number one, and knowing that Josh Allen has thrown an interception on his first pass of the game 3 times in his career, we need to do a better job settling down this team, keeping that momentum on our side. We entered this game with all the momentum on our side. The New England Patriots fans wanting to tank for Caleb Williams, and we start the game with an interception. All the momentum goes to the Patriots. They start believing that they could beat the Buffalo Bills. We start playing tense. We start playing tight, and the Buffalo Bills just could not let loose. We couldn't have fun. And even the plays that we did have that were great, there's no celebrating on offense. On defense, I see the energy. I see that. But I really believe the Bills are missing a little bit of an ingredient there on the offensive side of the ball. At times, Ken Dorsey had wide receivers in pass protection. To me, I think having tight ends and the delayed routes is the way to go versus just having these weird groupings and weird packages on that field, having tight ends or having wide receivers block at times. So the Bills, we really have to adjust. We have to understand what we do best. And one area that the Bills have been balling out here is the empty set spread formation. And I'm shocked that we haven't been calling it more often. Back-to-back plays. We've never really called it on back-to-back plays. Even James Cook still being able to run the football, but the Bills players not playing through the whistle, looking back at one another before the play is done. That is just unbelievable football. It's very, very disappointing to see. So it's not just one thing. The Bills have a lot to work on, offensively and defensively, utilizing our personnel and their strengths into what they do best. And if they're not going to show that effort, if they're not going to sacrifice themselves, start rotating other players in. Gabe Davis with a 96% snap count, maybe we should start rotating in Trent Sherfield on the outside, especially if Bean is not going to pull a move for an additional wide receiver. Well, at Bills News Consolidated, I always try to stay positive. I know the Buffalo Bills can correct these things. These are all correctable issues without a doubt. We have the talent. We have the skills. You're right. Ken Dorsey is a genius, but he just needs to kind of simplify things a little bit more. The Buffalo Bills will learn and grow from this loss. Honestly, I'm making this video to hope that the Bills maybe see this and can kind of correct some of these issues. I mean, it's so easy to correct energy. It's so easy to correct playing through the whistle, right? The Bills just need to learn how to settle in games, keep the momentum on the side, because it's 10 times harder to get the momentum back. Appreciate you guys. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe for future content, and go Bills.